Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about Python loops. As in my previous videos, I have told you about different programming constructs like sequential programming constructs, selection programming construct, and today we will be learning about the iteration programming construct, which is also known as the looping statement. So looping statements are those statements in which we keep on repeating a set of statements a given number of times or till the condition becomes false. It will keep on repeating itself. So in Python we are having two loop commands, and these two loop commands are while loop and for loop. So we will start with the while loop. So with while loop we can execute a set of statement as long as a condition is true. So as all of you know that in looping statement or in looping programming construct, a set of statements are repeated continuously. So the while loop, in while loop we can execute a set of statement as long as a condition is true. As soon as the condition becomes false, the statement after the while loop are executed. Let's try this with an example. Like I want to create a program, write a program to display first 10 natural numbers. So I have used the hash sign over here. This is used to create a comment. So computer will not execute this first line. Now I have created a variable x and given it initial value x while x is less than equal to 10 colon. It is used to create a block print x and x equal to x plus 1. Now each loop command or the loop structure, whether it is while loop or for loop, it consists of 4 elements, or we can say the structure or the elements of the loop are: the first one is your initialization. We are giving initial value to the variable x. This is called initialization. Then comes your test expression or checking the condition. This is your second element. Third element is the update command. We are updating the value of a variable. Here I am updating the value of x by 1. I can increase it by 2 or by 3. It's up to you, up to the programmer. And then comes the body of the loop. Now this, whatever statement you write inside the block of the while loop, it becomes the body of the while. So till the condition is true, whatever statement is there in the block or in the body of the while, those statements will be executed. As soon as the condition becomes false, as soon as this condition becomes false, that means if the value is greater than 10, it means the value of x becomes 11, the statement after the while loops will be executed. Since there are no statement over here, so nothing will be printed if the condition becomes false. If you want that if the condition becomes false, a certain statement should be executed, then you can write that over here by giving the print command. So we will try that also, but first let's save this file. Now here I want to display first a natural number, and I will give the command F5 to execute this file. So you can see over here it is displaying first a natural number. So first now we have initialized the value of variable x is 1. It will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will print 1, so it is printing 1 over here. Then it will increase the value of x by 1, value of x will now become 2, and then again it will check the condition. If the condition is true, it will print 2, and then it will increase the value of x by 1, the value of x will become 3. It will again check the condition. If the condition is true, that is if the value of x is less than or equal to 10, it will print value which is present in the variable, that is 3. Then again it will increase the value of the variable, that is x by 1. Now this step it will keep on repeating itself. It will keep on repeating itself till the value of x is less than or equal to 10. As soon as the value of x becomes 11, as soon as the value of x becomes 11, this statement will not be executed. The control will execute the statement after the while block. That means whatever you have written in the while block, those statement will not be executed if the condition becomes false. So I want that if the condition becomes false, certain information should be displayed. For that I can also use else. So else, it is used to, else is optional, not necessary to write else. If the condition becomes false, I want certain information to be displayed. So I can write condition is, or you can write any other information also. So if the condition becomes false, whatever you have written after else, dot statement will be executed. You can write more than one statement. Now this is the block of else. In the block of else, we are having only one statement. You can write multiple statement also. So the else so when the condition becomes false, program control passes to the line immediately following the loop. The else statement is optional. Using the else statement is optional and executes the program statement when the condition becomes false. So let's run this. So as soon as the program becomes the condition becomes false, when the condition becomes false, then what will happen? The statement after else will be executed. So it is displaying number 1 to 10. As soon as the value of x becomes 11, whatever you have written after else, whatever you have written in the else statement, that statement will be executed. So whatever you have written in the else block, that statement will be executed. So till the condition is true, whatever is there in the block of while, those statement will be executed. And as soon as the condition becomes false, if the condition becomes false, so the condition is now false, you have written the value of x is now 11, so this will not be executed. Whatever you write after else, or that means whatever you have written in the block of else, those statement will be executed if the condition becomes false. If you want that to display some other information, when the condition becomes false, you can also write over here in the print by giving the print command and of program. So if the condition becomes false and there is else also, so it will display whatever you have written after in the else block, and then it will print end of program. So it is displaying number 1 to 10. If the condition is true, as soon as the condition, if this will print when the condition is true. As soon as the condition becomes false, this will be printed, and then end of program will be printed. And suppose if you don't have this else, so now it will print first and natural number from 1 to 10, and as soon as the condition becomes false, the statement after the while loop will be executed. Now these are the statement, these are the two statements which are present in the while loop, or we can say these are the body of the loop, or they are present in the block. So you can know if they are part of the while block by seeing the gap over here. You can see the gap. This is starting from the beginning, so this is not in the block of the while. These two statements are only present in the block of while. To create a while block, we use, to any block, whether it is if block or while block, we use colon to create a block. So this is block, it is used to create a block, we use colon, this colon over here. So we have two statements in the block of while. So as soon as the condition becomes false, the statement following the while block will be executed. That means this line will be executed. If you want, you can increase the value by 2 or by 3 or by 4 or by 5. It's up to you. I want that the value of x should be increased by 4 in each loop. So I can change the value to 4. First we print 1, then it will print 1 plus 4, 5, then it will print 5 plus 4, 9, and so on. So let's run it. Save it. That is printing 1, 5 and 9. So as soon as the condition becomes false, the statement end of program will be executed. So this is a simple example of while loop. Suppose you want to display the information in reverse order. You want to display number from 10 to 1 or from 20 to 1. So your initial value you are taking x is 20 and x is greater than or equal to, right over here, 0. As soon as the value of x becomes less than 0, automatically the while loop will end, print x, and here instead of increasing the value I have to decrease the value. I want a gap of 5, so I can give x equal to x minus 5. So when I run this program, to run the program, the shortcut key is F5, or you can go to run and choose the option run module. So first it will print 20, and then in the next loop it will print 20 minus 5, 15. It is printing 5, 15, and then it will print 15 minus 5, 10, and then 10 minus 5, 5, and then 5 minus 5, 0. It will print 0, and then 0 minus 5, the output will be minus 5. So the value of x, now the condition is false. So if the condition becomes false, whatever you write after the else, after the while block, those statement will be executed. So this is how we create while block. If you want to come out of the while block at any time, you can also use break statement. About this I'll be telling you later. So as soon as the computer reads this while break statement, automatically it will come out of the block. Let's try it. See, it's directly given the command. It is directly come out of the statement of the while block. So computer is reading this, then computer is reading this statement, and then after this the computer is reading this statement. As soon as this break statement is read by the computer, automatically it will come out of the block. So this is the use of break statement. Break statement is to break the loop. It is used to bring the control out of the loop. If you want to bring the control out of the loop at any time, even if the condition is true, you can use break statement. This I can do with the, I can also use if for that. If x equal to, or if the value of x is less than 10, if the value of x becomes less than 12, so it should break. So let's try this. So if the value of x is if the value of x is less than 12, it will break. That means first it will print 20, then it will print 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, and as soon as the value of x becomes 12, the break statement will be executed, and then it will automatically come out of the while block. So let's go for it. See, it is print. So as soon as the value of x becomes 12, it is printing 12, and then the break statement is executed. The break statement will bring the control out of the while block. So this is the use of break statement. Now suppose I want to print now. Next, let's try one more program, and program is, we'll again use the hash sign. Write a program to print first 10 natural number and their sum. I want to print first a natural number and their sum. Program is very simple. Take a variable x equal to 1. Take a variable x equal to 0, where s we have taken a variable so that we can store the value in sum. In the variable value of all the variables from 1 to 10, and then later we can display them. So we have taken it a variable x. While x is while x is less than equal to 10, the loop will run. I'm printing the value of printing the value of x, and s, your s equal to s plus x, and then s equal to x plus 1. And once the loop ends, then I can write over here sum of the values. Right, let's save it. So what's happening over here? Now initial value of x is 1, initial value of s is 1, x will run from 1 to 10. It will print the value 1 first, then s I have taken a variable inside s. What will happen? S is 0, it will add the value of 1. So value of x, s will be 0 plus 1, so it will be 1. And then I am increasing the value of x by 1, the value of x will now become 2. It will print 2. Value of x, s is 1. It is adding the value of x, the new value of x to itself. So the value of s will now become 1 plus 2. It will become 3 in the next loop. And in the next loop, value of x is 3. It will become 3. The value of s will become 3 plus 3, that is equal to 6. So what's happening over here? In the variable s, we are adding all the value of x. First, the value of x was 1, we are adding 1 to s. In the next loop, value of x becomes 2, we are adding 2 to the value of s. In the next loop, value of x becomes 3, we are adding 3 to the value of s. So in this way, we will add all the numbers and later we can show the value of s at the end of the program. So when you run this program, it will display all the numbers 1 to 10 and at the end sum equal to 55. That is sum of 1 to 10. So this was your while loop. Now here what's happening over here, like suppose I want to display first a natural number. The output is coming vertically, that means in different lines. When I run this, so it's coming vertically like this. Okay, if you want to display the information horizontally in this way, for that what you have to do, now the print, whenever you give the print command, the print function, the default value of end argument is the new line character. That means by default the print function adds a new line character. New line character is this character, it is known as new line character. It automatically adds a new line character when you give the print command at the end of the line. It automatically adds a new line character. This new line, the use of this new line character is that whatever information will be displayed, it will be displayed in the next line. By default, it will add a new line character /n at the end of the statement. By default, the print statement. Therefore, we are getting information in different lines. We are getting output in different lines. So the print function adds a new line character at the end of the line. But suppose you don't want a new line character, you don't want this new line character at the end, you want the information should be displayed in the same line. So for that what you have to do, you have to change the AND argument. You have to use AND argument, and by default it is the AND argument is /n, which is known as the new line character. If you write this command, run you will get the output in different lines. But suppose you want that the information should come on in the same line, so you have to change this end line character or the new line character. The new line character, you can put any other line. Suppose I have used add sign over here. Now my information will be displayed in the single line. Whatever information is coming or is being printed or displayed, it will be displayed in the same line. See 1, 8, 2, 8, 3, 8, 4, 8, 5, 8, 6, 8, 7, 8, 8, 9 and 8, 10. But as I have already told you, by default the end argument or the end line character or the end argument is the new line character, which is /n. So if you don't write this also, you get the information in different line. But suppose you want the information to be displayed in one line, so the end argument, you have to use the end argument over here. How you're going to end your line, and then you have to change the end argument. By default, as I have already told you, the end argument is new line character /n. So instead of /n, you can use a comma as a end argument. So now when you will give the print command, it will display your information in the same line. It will not end the line because we have not used new line characters over here. So instead of new line character, I have used a comma, so you find comma. So to end the character, to end the line, it is using comma. Over here to end the line, it is using @ sign. But over here to end a line, it is using new line character, which is by default. So this way you can get the information in single line. So as I've already told you that the while loop tells the computer to do something as long as the condition is met. That is, the condition is true. As long as the condition is true, as long as this condition is true, the while loop will tell the computer to do something. It will keep on repeating or keep on telling the computer to do a particular task till the condition is true. The its construct or the structure of the while loop consists of a block of code and a condition. This is the block of code. These two are the block of code, and this is the condition. The condition is evaluated, and if the condition is true, the code within the block is executed. So every time this condition, it will be evaluated, it will be checked, and if this condition is true, the code within the block, these are the codes, these two lines are the code within the block of the while. These two will be executed. This repeats until the condition becomes false. So they will keep on repeating itself until the condition of while becomes false. As soon as the condition becomes false, the statement after the while block will be executed. When the condition becomes false, whatever statement you have written within the body or within the block of the while will not be executed. The statement after the while block will be executed. So this was about your while loop. Now coming to the for loop. This was while loop. Now we'll go for the for loop. The for loop statement is used to iterate over an element of sequence. If you want to iterate over an element of sequence, then for that we use for loop. Now what is a sequence? So you should know the sequence is a generic term for an ordered set. Like for example, when I am writing over here a string called computer, C-O-M-P-U-T-E-R, computer. Now here, this is an ordered set. C is having index number by default 0. Index number of first character is always 0. O is having an index number 1. M is having an index number 2. P is having index number 3. Index number of first element is always 0. This you should know. So suppose I want to use a for loop in computer. That means I want to iterate all the elements of the word computer. So I can write x equal to computer for a in x and then print a. So when I will give this command, what is happening over here is I have already told you that the for loop statement is used to iterate over the element of a sequence. Now C-O-M-P-U-T-E-R, these are the elements which is present in X, and this A over here, it is known as loop element. It's known as loop element. E-L-E-M-E-N-T. So this A is the loop element. So what will happen over here? First element of X will be stored in A, and then it will print value of A. In the next loop, second element of X, which is O, will be assigned to A, and it will print that particular value which is present in A. In the next loop, next element of X will be assigned to A. It will print that. This procedure will keep on repeating itself till all the elements have been printed or has been assigned to X. So the for loop statement, it will iterate over the elements of the sequence. Now here X, this computer is a sequence, and I've stored computer inside A, so inside X. So in the first loop, the first element will be assigned to A, we will print A. In the next loop, O will be assigned to A, the loop element A, then we'll print A. In the next loop, the next element of X will be assigned to A, it will print A. This procedure will keep on repeating itself till all the elements of X, that is all the elements, that is COMPUTER, has been assigned to A. Once each and every element has been assigned to A, automatically the for loop will close. So let's print this. So it will print COMPUTER, all the elements. First inside A, inside A, C will come, C will be assigned to A. In the next loop, O will be assigned to A, then M will be assigned to A, then P, U, T, and the N, R will be assigned to A, and then nothing is there to assign to A now, so the loop will automatically end. Or you can directly write over here. If you don't want to assign a variable, you can just write over here for A in COMPUTERSCIENCE, computer science. So output will be same, COMPUTERSCIENCE. Same thing is happening over here. Now this is your sequence. First, this is your loop element A. The first element will be assigned to A. It will print A. In the next loops, O will be assigned. In the next loop, next value will be assigned. Next value will. This will keep on repeating itself till all the value of the sequence has been assigned to A. Once all the element has been assigned to A, automatically your program will be closed, or the control will come out of the for block, and the statement after the for block will be executed. You can also use for to iterate over a sequence like your tuple, list, or a dictionary or a string. So about list, dictionary, and tuple, I'll be telling you in my next video. So let's try an example of a list. So suppose I have created a list over here. Creating list is very simple. Suppose the name of the list is fruits. For creating list, we use square bracket. This is one element. This is second element of a list, and third element of the list is orange. Then banana, pineapple, cherry. Suppose now this is fruit is a list, and in the list I am having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. So if I want to iterate in this list called fruits, so I have to use write for a. You can take any other variable name. I can take X over here. I can take any valid variable name. This X is the loop element. So first, what will happen? First element of the list, that is apple, will be assigned to X. If you print apple, then in the next loop, second element, that is mango, will be assigned to X. In the next loop, orange will be assigned to X. If you print that, so this will keep on. This procedure will keep on repeating itself till there are elements in the fruits. Once all the elements has been assigned to X, automatically the for loop will get closed, and the statement after the for loop will be executed. So when I save it, when I run it, so see what's happening over here. First apple has been assigned to X. It is printing apple, then mango, then orange, then banana, pineapple, and at the end cherry. And after cherry there is no other element, so the program, the control has now come out of the 4 block, and the statement after the 4 blocks gets printed. Right over here, and the program. So let's run it. So I'm to run it. I am pressing F5. So as soon as the program, as soon as all the elements of fruits has been assigned to X, none of the element is left now to be assigned to X. So it will come out of the control will come out of the for loop, and end of program this statement will be executed. So we'll try more examples of for. So let me tell you again the difference between while and for loop. So while loop, it is used to execute a set of statements till the given condition is true. As soon as the given condition becomes false, the set of statement after the while loops are executed. But in the for loop, it is used for iterating a sequence. Sequence could be a tuple, list, dictionary, or a string. So the for loop statement is used to iterate over the elements of a sequence. The for loop generally when we want to iterate over the elements of a sequence. Now we will be using the range function in for. So what is the use of range function? R-A-N-G-E, range function. So the range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0, which is by default. Okay, so if you want to return a sequence of numbers starting from 0, 0 is by default. That means by default it will display the numbers from 0. So I can write for x in R-A-N-G-E, range should be small, range 6. So when I will give this command range 6, it will generate number from 0 to 6. So the range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 and increments by 1 at the end of the specific and ends at a specific number. That's the number I have given it 6. So it will display number from 0 to 5. That means it will display 6 elements starting from 0. So when you run this program, so it is displaying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It won't display 6 because I have written over here 6. That means it will display 6 elements. It will display 6 elements starting from 0. So first will be 0 because default value is 0. Always will start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can count total there are 6 elements. So as we have already told, I've already told you that the range function returns a sequence of numbers starting from 0 and increments by 1. First the number was 0, then next number it is incrementing by 1, it is 1, then it is incrementing by 1, it is 2, then 3, then 4 and then 5. If I write over here, right over here 10, so it will display number from 0 to 9. Total 10 number will be displayed and starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and then end of program. So the default starting value is 0 and the default increment value is 1. But you can change this increment value or the default value. Suppose you want to display the value from 2 to 10. So you have to write 2, 10, 2, 11. Why 11? Because if you want to display number from 2 to 10, you have to write 2, 11. That means it will display number from 2 to 11, but it will not display the last number. This you have to keep in mind. The last number will not be displayed. Therefore, I am writing over 11. So when I run this program, let's save it and run it. Run. run module. So it is displaying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The last number will not be displayed. If I write over here 2, 10, it will display number from 2 to 9. This is the first one, is the initial value, starting value. This is the starting value. This is your end value. This is your end value. Okay, but the end value will not be displayed. The starting value will be displayed. The end value will not be displayed. So when I write saving, just run it. It will display number from 2 to 9. It will not display that last value. The 10th value will not be displayed. So if you want to display number from 2 to 10, so you can write 2, 11. So this one in range, as I've already told you, the range function returns a sequence of number. So it is returning a sequence of number from 2 to 9. Right? So when I'm writing 2, 10, that means this is the starting value and then this is the end value. So it will display the number from starting value to end value minus 1. So end value is 10. So it will display the number from 2 to end value minus 1, 10 minus 1, 9. So it is displaying number from 2 to 9. And automatically it will increase the value by 1. That is, next number will be 3, the next number will be 4. That is, number of increment value is by default it is 1. But suppose you want to change the increment value also. You want that the next number that is being displayed should have a gap of 2 or 3 or 4. Suppose I want to give a gap of 2. That means first 2 should come, then 3 should not come. Instead of 3, 4 should come, then 6, then 8, then 10. For that you have to specify the steps. So this is your starting value. This is your end value. So suppose I want to display the table of 2. So I have to write over here 21. And this is the steps. Yeah, steps. Right. So first it will display 2. Then the steps is 2. Then the next value will be 4. The next value will be 6. Then 8, 10. So this will keep on repeating itself till 21, till 20. The last value will not be displayed, as I've already told you. So this is the end value. The first one is your starting value, then comes your end value, and then comes your steps. So when I run this program, so it will displaying 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It is increasing by 2 steps. If you want to increase by 3 steps, you can write 3 over here. I have written over here 21, as I have told you earlier also, because the last number will not be displayed. If I write over here 20, see the difference. It is displaying 80. After 18, the next number is 20, but it will not display the last number. Therefore, after 18, end of program is coming over here. It is not displaying any other value. If you want to display 20 also, then you have to write over here 21, because in range the last number is not displayed. So here we are having 3 argument. Argument means whatever you write within brackets. These are your arguments. The first one is your starting value, then comes your end value. So end value minus 1 will be displayed, and then comes your steps. If you don't specify the steps, by default it will increase by 1. By default it will increase by 1 only. So if you don't specify steps, it will display number from 2 to 20. So when I am pressing F5, once it is displaying number 2, 3, 4, 5. By increment value is only 1, because I haven't specified any increment value. The default increment value is 1. If I don't specify this starting value, now it will display number of 21 number starting from 0. So it will display number from 0 to 20. Last number will not be displayed, as I have already told you. So it is displaying number from 0 to 20. 21 means it will generate a sequence of numbers starting from 0. So I have written 21. So it will generate 21 numbers starting from 0. This is the use of range function. But suppose I want that the number should generate from 5. So I can specify 5 over here. So when I specify 5, it will generate number from 5 to 20. 5 to 20. By default, it is increasing by 1 value. I want that it should increase by 5. So I can write 5 over here. So the first number will be 5, then 20, 25, 25. I don't go to 25. 5, 10, 15, and 20. 5, 10, 15 and 20. So I hope this is clear to you. So range function, it is used to return a sequence of numbers by default starting from 0 and by default increments by 1, but the increment value and the default value you can change. So this is the use of for and while. The for statement, it is used to iterate over a sequence, or you can say the for statement, it is used to iterate over elements of a sequence. It is used to iterate over elements of a sequence, like we have done over here, elements of the sequence. All these were the four examples of for loop. But whereas in while loop, the while loop tells the computer to do something as long as the condition is met. If this condition is true, as soon as the condition becomes false, the statement after the while loops are or while blocks are executed. So go through this video again and again, and in the next videos I'll be showing you more examples of for and while. We will be working on break and continue statement. And till then, keep on watching this video. Thank you and have a nice time.